You're watching Market Pulse here on BTVI. Well, Gulf Petrochem is one stock that we'll try and put our focus on to know what's happening in that space. In fact, the company entered India last year and they've been pretty aggressive on the growth that they have seen, and it's been a good year that's gone by despite demonetization and the other effects that we spoke. But let's address these questions to Hari Prakash, who's the MD at Gulf Petrochemical. Mr. Hari Prakash, good to have you in our studios. Thank you very much. You know, it's been a year, as I said, and you've seen a good growth story for you. What's worked for you really, and how bullish are you that you'll be able to maintain this story? Repsol is a brand that's sort of done well despite the competition in the market right now.
Yeah, good. It's been a good run in the last 1 year. Actually, the company was earlier called as Petroleum, which was taken over by Gulf Petrochem.
Yeah.
It was sometime the end of 2014.
Right.
And they acquired a full control sometime in the early 2015. Now, from then on, if you see even the stock prices of GP Petroleums Limited, the listed company is called GP Petroleums Limited, and the group is Gulf Petrochem. So, if you see the stock prices, I think we have been growing fairly well, and we have beaten the BSE index as well. So, the primary reason is one, we have a lot of headroom to grow. Two, we have brought in Repsol, which is a Spanish oil major. We tied up with them. While we have IPOL as the flagship brand of GP Petroleums, we also tied up with the Repsol so that we directly cater to the premium segment of the multinational companies which is operating in India.
Right.
Now, this has been the key factor where we have tried to look at a different market segment while entering India. So I would say the last 1 year has been fairly exciting for the team as well as for the market with respect to the new entrant as Repsol through GP Petroleums.
Sure.
Right. I'm just looking at your stock. It's currently trading higher by 4%. So that's GP Petroleums Limited. You can see that chart. That's the company we are talking about right now. Could you share the numbers of Repsol? How has the performance been?
Before I come to the come to the number of Repsol, I think it will be important to understand GP Petroleums as a company. Primarily, it's a lubricant manufacturing and marketing company. What we do is make in India. I mean, with the current ethos of make in India, whether it is our own flagship brand or whether it is Repsol, we decided to make it in India first and market it within India.
I believe you have exports in Sri Lanka, China, Southeast Asia
right.
from India.
That's for the IPOL brand, and since we started Repsol for about a year ago, today, I mean, I'm quite happy to say that we have been given the rights to sell into Sri Lanka, Nepal, I mean, all the bordering countries of India. So that's been the step up even within the group and within the joint venture which we are talking with Repsol.
Sir, just help me understand, you know, the growth story for Repsol, and how do you plan to sort of address it in a bigger way? Will inorganic be a big way to sort of grow your business? And in that case, do you have enough, you know, financial muscle to sort of help it?
It's a very interesting question. I will have to disclose what is possible for me at this point of time. See, Repsol is currently we have a technical agreement with them. We have a knowledge sharing and also manufacturing capability which is built within the country. The plant has been audited, and we are manufacturing the Repsol products in India. And thankfully, we have all the global giants of additive companies in India. So getting it made in India is only a matter of a commitment what we need to do, and the possibilities exist. Going forward, Repsol themselves have declared in the press conference sometime earlier that they would like to come with a joint venture with GP Petroleums in India.
Sure.
Now that is the big picture which we will be looking at going forward.
What's the timeline, sir?
We have not established a timeline as of now. But looking at the way in which we have progressed Repsol in the country, they are more than interested to come with it at a faster pace.
Sure. When you talk about Make in India and the way forward, really, how much investments are you committing here? And going forward, you know, the bigger picture on how much will you expand, you know, the production, etc., that you look at?
Okay, just to give a dimension, our company, approximately, we are about 450 crores, and I think we have been growing pretty well compared to last year. Whether it is the revenue or if it's the PAT or if it's the EBITDA, we have had a healthy growth compared to the market data.
What are the current margins right now?
Okay, if you look at it, we are close to about 7 or 8% on the EBITDA, and I think compared to the previous year, we are much better off. And while looking at the multinational companies in the similar field, we possibly have enough to catch up, and that's where the growth prospect lies. The interesting aspect for us is we have a lot of headroom to grow. And I think that's where we're going to catch up.
Who are you tying up with? I mean, there are a lot of OEMs and they already have certain tie-ups with other lubricant makers. So how difficult is it to sort of break into
I think we got a real olive branch over here in the sense that Repsol is globally known for the tie-up with Honda.
Yeah.
In fact, since 1995, they are tied up with Honda globally as a strategic tie-up. You will find it almost all the MotoGP.
Yes.
Repsol, correct. It's the Honda Repsol team which has been winning. And if you see the last 3-4 years, almost all the races has been, including the 2016 MotoGP, it's the Honda Repsol team which won. And I am more than pleased to see that Honda has been advertising some of their latest editions of their bikes through the hoardings, which is the Honda Repsol limited edition bikes, which shows the confidence Honda has got on Repsol globally.
Sure, so that continues.
So we will capitalize that in India. For country-wise, there are different arrangements. So we are in discussion with Honda as to how to leverage this within India as well.
Sure, Honda is one partner that you'll be looking
Global
at.
partner,
That's right. Other than that?
And other than that, globally, they've also worked with Suzuki. So that's the next logical step which we will work with the Maruti Suzuki in India.
That'll be a big one for you.
That'll be a big one. So these are things which are lined up.
Yeah.
And I hope that we really march on to as we had planned.
Sure. One question on the crude prices and the way they've performed in the recent past. They've been rising. I mean, at least the trajectory is looking up right now. Yeah. How much has it impacted your operations and what's your own outlook for crude prices?
See, crude will impact our operation in the sense that base oil is a derivative of crude.
Yeah.
And we use base oil for, it's almost 90% of our raw material. And it's only the additives which brings in the technology part of it. So we will actually piggyback on the crude rise and fall. But the demand for base oil slightly differs when it comes to the actual requirement. It's a demand supply. Now, for us, last year we saw that the crude decreased early part of the year, but towards the end of the year, the crude is going up and also the base oil is going up. So we are impacted on our input cost. So we are not able to get the price increase in the market. So possibly we'll have to look at how we really optimize our own operations.
Sure.
Relook at it, tighten our belts and see that we still maintain the margins and bring a shareholder value.
7 to 8% you think is going to be sustainable or it can increase from here?
No, it should increase. I mean,
what's your outlook, sir? Where do you see that grow in the next 1-2 years?
We should reach double digit very soon.
Double digit.
Very soon.
Do you see that in FY18? And also tell us, with this tie-up, how much of earnings accretive will it be for the company?
See, I don't want to make a prediction at the moment. We have declared a board meeting. The board meeting is scheduled very soon, so I can't talk anything about those specific numbers, so I hope you understand. But in general, looking at the trajectory in the last, the first half results, on every parameter what you would see, we have grown. And I think the shareholders have been the market has been very supportive. And we are also looking at plowing back the investments into the company for marketing, for R&D, and also tying up with Repsol on multivarious activities around India as well.
Right. Last question, sir, before I let you go. On acquisitions, we do understand there's some bit that you're seeing in the maritime lubricant space. Is that something that you're considering? And what is the focus area going to be? Will you also look at maritime? Because that's, again, a big potential and a high margin business.
See, as a company, GP Petroleums, we are very well established in industrial space. So that's the bulk of our business. Almost 90% of our business comes from industrial, while most of the lubricants depend upon the automotive as the bulk of the business. Right. So we will be changing the proportion of industrial to automotive over a period of time where automotive will increase. Now, that's where the Repsol part of it comes in. We are also finding an opportunity in the maritime space. At the moment, we are in discussion with some companies, which I can't disclose here at the moment, wherein we'll possibly also look at the maritime space, not only for India, but it will be Europe and Asia as well.
All right.
And any fundraising plans?
Not that I can tell you at the moment. So I wish I could tell you something, but nothing on the black and white as of now.
You're well capitalized, right?
We will. In fact, we are actually looking out, we will be looking out for inorganic growth as well in the short term. Because if I have to multiply, I still need to look at inorganic. It can't be with organic growth alone.
Okay.